It's Friday, May 31st, 2024. Thanks for tuning in today. So much happening across the world and right here in the United States of America. I'm sure all of you were watching the news yesterday with the verdict, with the former president. I predicted, which I shouldn't do, but I predicted that the stock market would take a huge hit today. And it was interesting because the Dow was pretty flat for a while. NASDAQ was down well over 200 points. And then the Dow finished up 574. NASDAQ was down around 250. It finished up, down 2 points. So it's interesting to think the political uncertainty in this country. And you would think that the markets, who they really would want to be the next president. Let me know who you think. I think most of us know who the markets would actually want for the next president. But I thought really, just with common sense, that if the former president was found guilty, markets would react in a very negative way, because I think that's who they really want to be the next president. I think the markets would do much better under the former president than the present president. But look, at the end of the day, as I said yesterday too, these are very manipulated markets, very, very hard to call it, hard to forecast or predict anything with this. But at the end of the day, it's just another reminder that the markets really don't care who the next president is going to be. They don't care that a lot of people are losing their jobs. They don't care that the economy is sliding deeper into a depression. These markets, all they care about is the next rate cut, the hopium of another rate cut, praying and hoping that they're going to get at least one rate cut this year, like that's going to make any type of difference whatsoever. Again, the markets don't care about the next president. They don't care about you, me, business, especially small business, the middle class, unemployment, inflation. All the markets care about is getting access to that cheap money. They want to see the Fed come in, cut rates, print money, and corporate America would just love to get in and borrow tons of cheap money. All that's going to do is cause a massive amount of inflation for you, for me, the middle class, the poor. Literally 90% of this country will suffer if they begin cutting rates and printing money. It'd be the worst case scenario. Billionaire, CEO, real estate investor on impact of the former president verdict. Nobody wants to do business in New York. John Katsinadis, I believe, owns a bunch of grocery stores out there in New York. And Grant Cardone were on Fox Business. And Grant Cardone said that he has pulled all of his business dealings out of New York City. He says, I have 15,000 investors. And look, love Cardone, hate Cardone. There's a few things that he says that are very, very true. The guy's a fast talker. I get it. But at the end of the day, he's got a lot of money and a lot of investors, and he ain't doing business in New York. He says, I have 15,000 investors. We've raised $1.3 billion. If I went to them today and said that I want to go to New York, they would not give me the money to do that. He says it's one of the greatest cities on earth and nobody wants to go there. How is that even possible? Think about that. That's how bad this whole thing is. This is what happens when you weaponize politics. As Grant Cardone says, clearly the political system has been weaponized. How does that happen to a city that everybody wants to go to, everybody wants to do business in, and all of a sudden nobody wants to go there and do business there? How does that happen? I guess when you weaponize the political system, I would say even further, when you weaponize the justice or the judicial system, people are going to get the heck out of there. Who in the world, comment down below, would you do business in New York City? Would you do business in New York City now? This has nothing to do with politics. This is what is morally right, what is morally wrong. Everybody should be treated fairly. There are so many holes in this verdict. It's a joke. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, right, left, in the middle. Everybody knows that this is a big scam, and this is going to hurt New York financially big time, because CEOs like Cardone and John Castanedis, these people, they're just not going to do business there. they're going to leave. They're going to invest in other places. Chicago PMI unexpectedly craters to depression levels. This on the hedge today. While the Dow Jones is up almost 600 points today. Political warfare taking place. We have political uncertainty, and the Dow Jones up nearly 600 points. This should tell you how much of a joke all this is, how manipulated these markets really are. After unexpectedly slumping last month to 37.9, the Chicago PMI index cratered even more unexpectedly in May when it defied hope of a rebound to 41.5 and instead tumbled even more, sliding to a cycle low of 35.4. The last two times that it printed at this level was during the health crisis and the global financial crisis. I would have to say that this is trying to tell us something, right? That when you see the Chicago PMI at 35.4, this is telling us something. Something is very wrong. Here's an interesting one today. Wolfstreet.com. Fed's wait and see on rate cuts supported by worst 6-month core and core services PCE inflation since mid-2023. Just a couple highlights of the article. Core services PCE jumped by 4.4% annualized, the worst increase since June of last year. Inflation is no doubt entrenched. It's in housing, it's in healthcare, it's in insurance. Take a look at your auto insurance, your health insurance, transportation services, communication services, entertainment, etc. We looked at 3.94% increase in April from a year ago with core services PCE. Housing PCE jumped 5% annualized in April from March. The 6-month jumped 5.5%, about the same as the prior month. So inflation is no doubt going away, and they can tell us whatever they want to tell us that came in as expected, wasn't too bad. But at the end of the day, you're going to the gas pumps, you're going to the grocery store, you're using services. Try and call an air conditioning company out here and have your air conditioner serviced and see what it's going to cost you. Go to an urgent care, see what it's going to cost you. Go out to dinner tonight, see what it's going to cost you. Go to the grocery store and go buy a couple pounds of hamburger and steak and see what it's going to cost you. And tell me that inflation is going down. We have big, big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. They can tell you till they're blue in the face that the consumer is strong and resilient, the economy is doing well, and inflation is going away. Inflation is not going away. It's going up slower, but it is not going down, especially with the things that are extremely important, the essentials of everyday life: fuel, services, food, things like that. First-time homeowners are starting to ask parents for help to make buying a property a reality. This on Fox Business. Relying on parents to co-sign and even pay down payments for a home. I find this extremely dangerous. And right now, yes, first-time home buyers, adults who maybe in their 30s, 40s, 50s are looking for help from their parents to co-sign or even give them a down payment. This is dangerous. This to me is putting the parents in a very, very dangerous situation. You're jeopardizing their financial future, because what if a parent says, okay, I'm going to co-sign on this house, and the kids land up losing a job. Maybe, John's wife, Susan, loses her job, or John loses his job, and now one income is not going to cut it. Who's on the hook? Well, the parents are on the hook. So, if you're thinking about doing this, you better really, really think about the negatives of all this, that if somebody loses a job, if the kids' wages cannot keep up with inflation, if there's an emergency, if something happens, if you don't have enough money to even put down, if you can't afford to do this, you're relying on your parents, this is a big, big no-no. And to the parents out there who should know better, nothing wrong wanting to help your kids. And if you can afford to do it, wonderful. But a lot of people have already co-signed for student loans. Now they're co-signed for cars, they're co-signing for houses. And you're going to have older people no doubt working forever till they die because they've taken on so much debt that they didn't have to take on to because they wanted to help their kids. And they let their emotions get the best of them. And when you let your emotions get the best of you, you start making bad decisions, bad financial decisions. So remember, if something goes wrong, this falls in the lap of the parents. People are really putting themselves in financial jeopardy. I highly advise against this. If you can afford it, hey, great. If you really can't afford this, you are really rolling the dice here. I would run away from this as fast as I could. The wolfstreet.com, the most splendid housing bubbles in America, April 2024 update. Let's look at some of the big price drops. Thought this was pretty interesting because we're being told that real estate's never going to crash, it can't collapse, even though, we've seen this multiple times. And I know people will tell me today, the stock market is at all-time highs. Dow Jones almost up 600 points today. The NASDAQ down 250, roars back down only 2 points. Everything's fine. Wasn't it before the 2008 crisis? Weren't we looking at all-time highs? The stock market was just roaring. Before the 29 crash, all-time highs. Everything was great. I want everybody to go back in history and read a little history. The stock market was roaring before a financial collapse. And this is what's really concerning is because I'm seeing so much multifamily building going on. I'm seeing so many single family residences being built right now. I'm seeing the stock market at all-time highs. And you know that something is right around the corner because this is how it always plays out. Roaring real estate market, roaring stock market, and then boom, something comes out of left field and all hell breaks loose. San Francisco Bay Area, prices are down 9.7% from May of 2022. Seattle, prices are down 8.2% from May of 2022. Phoenix, down 5.5% from June 2022. Portland, down 5.5% from May of 2022. Denver, down 5% from May of 2022. Dallas, down 4.2% from the height. Las Vegas, down 3.6% from the height. And Tampa, down 0.14% from their height. So these were some of the hottest housing markets in the country, and they are now falling from their highs. This is absolutely nothing. This stuff can accelerate so quickly. I was watching a video last night. I don't remember the gentleman's name. Gentleman was probably in his 30s, worked for a factory making, I believe, doors and windows for a housing company. They shut one plant down. He was lucky he got moved over to another plant. He made a video 10, 11 days ago, and he said now he just got laid off from the second plant. And so he was just talking about how he saw so much of a resemblance of what's happening right now, that what happened in 2008 looks so similar to what's happening right now in the housing market. And I totally agree. And it's another reminder that, anybody can lose a job now. Nobody is immune from losing a job. And now we have parents co-signing on these mortgages when their kids could lose their jobs and they're going to be on the hook for a lot of money. And so be very, very careful. It's going to continue to get much worse. CBS News, more than 4 million check-ins will be called at Iowa farm where the bird flu was found. Avian influenza has been detected in a county in Iowa. This is so sad because you're talking 4 million chickens just going to waste. They're not going to produce eggs. They're not going to produce meat. They're just going to be put down, euthanized, and done. What just a terrible, terrible loss. I don't really know where all this is coming from, but I will say this. This is going to be very inflationary because now you're going to look at chicken prices going up even more. Here's another one. Millions of chickens killed in 5-alarm fire. 2 days ago, a chicken farm was engulfed in flames at Farina Farms, Inc. in Missouri. Again, tragic. Just absolutely tragic that all these birds just lost, going to waste, will not be producing meat, won't be producing eggs, will be extremely inflationary to this economy. Poultry prices, egg prices are just going to go up. Food's going to get more expensive because we're going to see more of these type of shortages. So here we go again, more fires, more flus, and more chickens being euthanized. Really, really sad. And we're all going to pay a financial price here because prices are going to go up. So I'm going to leave it there today. In closing, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for sharing all these videos. Really appreciate it. But as we head into another weekend here, as we get closer to summer, so much happening. It is just absolutely shocking what is taking place. We have such geopolitical uncertainty, the political uncertainty right here in America, the financial uncertainty here in America. They're taking in more tax revenue than ever, running these huge deficits. It's unbelievable the waste that is taking place. And absolutely no accountability. Are you really happy where your taxes are going? Are you really getting what you want when you pay those taxes? Are your roads improving? Are your infrastructures improving? Are your grids improving? No, they're not. Things just continue to get worse. Is crime improving? No. I've never seen, as I leave you today, and I don't want to rant here, but I've just never seen the country in this type of disarray. It's in shambles. It is absolute. I have no idea at this point who's even running the country. I can't even believe half the data that I'm reading now because the numbers are so skewed and manipulated. I can't even believe anything on the stock market now. It's just so manipulated. And it just continues to spiral more and more out of control. The type of crimes that we're seeing in America, so many young people being injured by criminals, elderly people, women being punched in the face in New York. It's disturbing. As a kid growing up, I've never seen anything like this in my life, and there seems to be no accountability. They're almost making this normal. Just years ago when I was, filming all the tent cities and all the vacant buildings and all the homeless people on the streets of California, and people were just walking by, riding their bicycles by, skateboarding by, roller skating by. This was becoming the norm, normal, people, acceptable. People are callous to all this, that, we're just going to live around a bunch of vacant buildings and a bunch of people living in tents and homeless people and people, just using streets as bathrooms. And this is now the normal here for a lot of people in the United States. And, just again, the manipulation of the markets and what's happening politically and what's happening in the judicial system and whatnot, this is just all normal, and people just going along with all of it. But you're losing your standard of living. You're losing your ability to give your kids a great life. You are losing your freedom. You're losing everything. You're losing your retirements. You're losing your opportunity. You're losing your wealth, and it's so sad. People better really wake up really, really fast because, again, things are spiraling out of control. I've never seen the country in such disarray, so damaged. I don't even know at this point if it can be fixed. If it can, it's going to take years to fix this thing, and it's going to take a lot of money, and we're broke. Let's remember this too. The country is broke. It is bankrupt. Let me remind all of you, we're nearing $35 trillion of debt. Anybody that tells me today that the economy is doing well, the stock market's up, so you're wrong, JB, because the stock market's up. Let me remind all of you, how can things be good when you're running these type of deficits and you're running a $35 trillion debt and you're running out of money for Social Security by 2035 and you have $190 trillion of unfunded liabilities? Please explain to me how this can be a good economy when you're bankrupt. I just don't get it. And people will tell me today, stock market up, everything's fine, yet we're $35 trillion in debt. China just dumped $50 billion in treasury bonds. I wonder why. More countries are going to be doing the same. Your dollar is buying you less and less and less. So I don't get how anybody can sit here and say that things are really well because the stock market is up. Did the stock market up today change your life whatsoever? Is there more opportunity? Are you making more money? Did you go to the grocery store and prices went down? Are you paying less for gas? But wait, the stock market is up, so everything must be okay. Is it doing anything to change your life? And as fast as it goes up, it comes down twice as fast. Don't forget, People think they're doing well because their stocks are up right now. The home and their price, the price of their home is up right now. Everything's on paper. That stuff can be shut off in the flip of a switch. Equity can be lost overnight in property. Stocks can be lost within minutes. Be very, very careful how you count your wealth. Wealth to me is having no debt and owning real assets. No debt, owning assets. But people that, have a $500,000 mortgage, but they go, oh, we have equity in our home, so we're rich. Yet you have, 2 car payments and $18,000 in credit card debt. You're not rich. You're a debt slave. So I'm going to leave it there today. I apologize. Don't want to rant. Please, again, like this video, share this video everywhere, blast it on your social media, continue to wake as many people up as you can. I will say, people are waking up. They see exactly what is going on out there, and fools will be fools. But I see a lot of people now beginning to question what is really going on, and that's a good thing. Have a great weekend. Be safe, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your head on a swivel. Exercise situational awareness. Be training. Know how to take care of your business. And I look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon. God bless.